Hello, everyone, and welcome back. First and foremost, I would like to apologize for the chaos that you see going on behind me. As you know, well, as some of you may know, I decorated my dining room table in the last week's video. So I apologize. I know there's a lot going on behind me. And that's just because we are celebrating Halloween to the fullest, and we are just so excited for yet another spooky video. If you are new here, my name is Jessie, and on this channel we do all things spooky, Halloween related, and really anything that pertains to the strange and unusual. So if that's right up your alley, definitely make sure you stick around because I've got some fun content coming your way. And as always, if you're one of my original spookies, thank you for joining me again. I am so thankful to have you. And I promise this video is going to be chock full of Halloween goodness, and I promise you're not going to want to miss a thing. So make sure you stick around. And we're back, and before we get too far along in this video, I just wanted to say I hope all of you have been well, and I hope that you're enjoying October. It is flying by way too fast, per the usual, but we're still really thankful to be here and coming at you with another spooky video. Today, ooh, you guys, I am so excited. I am so excited. Today, we are doing pretty much, I want to call it my grand finale of the Decorate With Me series, but there's still going to be more decorating things coming out, but I would say this is the big boy. This is the big one. This is going to be where we decorate my mantle. And I'm sure if you've been around here for a little while, you do know that my mantle is by far my favorite space to decorate, and I've alluded to it in a few videos past. So I'm so excited to finally be bringing it to you. And for those of you who know, we are going to be doing a Sleepy Hollow mantle, which I have never done before. So I'm super, super excited to bring that to you. And I really don't want to spend too much time blabbing. I really just want to get into this Decorate With Me. This video is going to operate very similar to my last video. If you caught last week's video, it's going to be a voiceover video again. So you're pretty much just going to hang out with me while we decorate our mantle and bring a Sleepy Hollow vibe to life. And I'm just so thrilled to finally be making this video because this has by far been my favorite space, or excuse me, this has been the space that I'm absolutely most excited about this year. So I cannot wait to get started. And I did want to also mention, since we are flying through October, and I know there's a lot of new faces around here, so if you did miss last week's video, I am going to include it in the description. And if you want to check out last week's video, definitely feel free to, just because it's got all the spooky feels. And it's a good one, guys. I think it's a really fun, magical video. And if you enjoy this content, then I think it would be right up your alley. So if you missed last week's video, definitely make sure you check it out. We decorated the space that I was talking about earlier, my dining room table. That's why it's just decorated to the max right now. So if you want to see what I did with my dining room table, definitely check out last week's video. And I'll include that in the description box for you. Anyways, guys, let's not wait a second longer. Let's just dive right into this Decorate With Me. Hi, everyone. So, very first thing, I'm just getting everything vacuumed and cleaned off before we begin decorating. I always like to make sure that we start with a good base before we put any Halloween decor up. Now we're just spraying things down with our good old Mrs. Myers. I always go with the spiced acorn scent when I'm doing this. And then after we've given everything a good spray down, we're now moving on to the headless horseman. So this is the focal point of this display. I'm so excited to finally be decorating with him. And we actually picked him up this year from Marshall's, I believe. Now I'm just adding a pedestal and this vulture on a pedestal that you see, or I guess we'd call him a vulture lantern. I picked him up from At Home this year, and I figured he would go perfectly with this space. This is a a mantle scarf, I guess is what you would call it, or it's just some Halloween branchy garland that is made to be like a mantle scarf, and I loved this. I picked this up at Target from the Hide and Eek boutique, and it lights up orange. It's really, really beautiful, and I figured it was the perfect addition for this space, and it would just really bring in all of those Sleepy Hollow vibes. And I really felt that I achieved that with this. And basically all we're doing here is we're just getting this tucked under some of the heavier items. I like to get this at least on there somewhat before I start adding the rest of the display. And now we're just fine tuning a bit and making sure that everything's going to stay in place, just because you don't want this to be falling at all, because it would knock down some other pieces. This skull guy is I've had this for quite a while. The skull with a candle melted on top of it. I knew he was going to be the next addition to this display. And here we are, just putting one of these Halloween houses, these tin houses that I picked up this year. I got these from Target. I absolutely love these. They're just a matte black, and they're these tin houses, and I figured they would go great with this display. And here's these candlesticks that I picked up from my local antique store this year. I love these. These are authentic antiques, and I knew that they were going to go perfectly with this display. And now we're just getting everything fine-tuned a little bit. And you'll notice I do a lot of like rearranging things. That's always how I bring a display together, is I just kind of rearrange everything continuously until I like it. What you see there is a lantern that I picked up this year. I don't remember where I got it actually, but it's just a black lantern, and I loved how it looked. It really fits this aesthetic perfectly. That Ichabod Crane tombstone that you see there, I picked that up at Michael's this year. And of course that was going to go with my Sleepy Hollow display this year. And now we're just still fine tuning a bit, getting everything where I want it to go. What you see there is actually not a pedestal. That's a Bath and Body Works candle that I put some black fabric over. And I love using candles as pedestals. They work perfectly when I need to add some depth and, some different height variations. And now we're still just getting everything fine-tuned a bit. We did this for quite a bit, just trying to get everything aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And with that skull with the candle melting over it, I don't actually remember where I picked that up. I've had that for a few years. And that cloche that I just added, we ended up not keeping that. I just wanted to see how that looked. And now we've just moved on to pretty much the final look. This is when I was really starting to get happy with how things were looking. Of course, I had to add some finishing touches, such as these branchy twigs that I'm putting in here. I picked these up from Dollar Tree. These were part of that Dollar Tree floral that I picked up this year that I talked about in one of my previous videos. This wreath I picked up from Michael's this year, and I absolutely adore this wreath, you guys. It had all of the Sleepy Hollow feels. Like when I saw this at Michael's, I fell in love with it. And to me, it really does. It just kind of screams Sleepy Hollow in my opinion. I love the pops of orange, and it has all of these dark, almost like dark navy blue almost leaves. It looks really good. And then that sign that you see there, it's just a Sleepy Hollow plaque that I picked up at Michael's, and I made the decision to put it inside the wreath. And then now I'm just placing a crow up top on the wreath, just because I figured, the crow would help tie everything together with the theme. And we're back, and I thought that we were done, but turns out we're not anywhere even close. We're not anywhere even close to being done. So I had a very important step that I completely forgot about. We still have to do the moss. We can't skip this step. I can't believe I forgot about this. Okay, so we're gonna take this Spanish moss and we're going to place it all along the mantle. Because as I said in previous videos, this just takes your decorating to another level, and we couldn't skip this step. So, I picked the Spanish moss up at Michael's, I believe. Oh my god, it makes such a mess. Did you see that? It makes a mess. Okay. Alright, so there's no rhyme or reason to it. We're just basically throwing it here and there. Okay, so now we're finally done. So I'm so excited, you guys. I'm happy that I remembered to do the moss because that would have been really bad had I forgotten that. Anyways, we're back and I am so excited that we're finally finished with the Sleepy Hollow mantle. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's really cute. So without further ado, let's just look at the final product.